now.
The Dave Rickards Podcast.
Well, here we are with this vast hole between us.
We've got a buffer.
We do. Our beloved Shauna is taking time off to be with her family right now.
Yeah.
And before we started up on this episode of the Dave Rickards Podcast, Mike and I were saying, should Mike move here? And it felt like that scene, we've all been there, where the guy takes the middle urinal. Yeah. Hey, Carl, there's three. You never take the middle.
Move.
You flank.
Right.
I don't care if it's up against the stall and Daryl has just dropped a meatloaf in there. You never take the middle.
No, you can't. It's like your arms touching in a movie theater. You know, you don't, again, buffer. You need a buffer.
If you go to the movies, first of all, do you go to the movies with guy friends?
No.
No.
Not since I was probably a teenager, high school type of thing.
Right. But if you did,
no.
Are you keeping an open seat between you?
Absolutely.
You have to.
And you can cover up the fact that you're a homophobe by saying, well, I want to put my popcorn on this chair, or I want to put my, my drink in that drink area. Yeah.
Everyone knows. Just don't even bother.
1,000%. No, unless you were going to a movie where everybody wanted to go and you had to sit next to somebody.
Yeah.
And then you were just kind of like this.
I hate it.
Yeah. Always a buffer. Even if my wife and I go to a movie theater.
Yeah.
I don't sit right. No. I want to stretch out.
You keep a seat open between you and your wife?
Yeah. There's, because she's one of those types during a movie.
What,
like something's coming up, like, and I'm like, if you touch me again, type of thing. Yeah, so.
My wife and I were at the Civic Theater the other day. We went to see Wicked. It was fabulous.
Oh, no.
And, it's nice. The seat is roomy enough for a 6-foot-tall, 160-pound guy.
Sure.
Okay, I fit in.
Right.
But, I mean, there's my wife going, how's it going? She's got the wings out, I'm no armrest for me.
Did you like Wicked?
So we went and saw the movie.
Yeah.
My girls couldn't wait to see the movie.
Yeah.
And we went to see the movie, and I have so many thoughts on The Wizard of Oz. I'm on the record, and I went to see Wicked as a family thing, and it was fine. But I like The Wizard of Oz. I think The Wizard of Oz is one of the great perfect stories of the world.
Sure.
Wicked turns it inside out.
Yeah.
It's a completely different, I'm not going to give you any spoilers or anything like that, but in Wicked, the Wicked Witch of the West is a good person who's kind to animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just got a text from Toto. Hey, is that right? I pretty sure remember riding the basket down the country roads of Kansas.
Toto!
On the back of a bike off to get the big shot.
That's right.
Tell me how much she loves animals. But in Wicked, they make the Wicked Witch of the West out to be misunderstood.
Yes.
And she's kind to animals, and she's best friends with Glinda. And you're like, what? So you really have to have amnesia to go in and enjoy Wicked, which is fine. But the thing is, we went to see the movie, and the movie and the play tell the same story. And we get to the end of what the movie was on this play, and we're both like, hey, that was all right. That's pretty good. How come they're not coming out to take a bow? And I looked down and it's like, oh, we're halfway through. Jesus, we got another hour to go. I really like live theater, but it's too long. It's too long.
I'm
every time. I went to see that Book of Mormon, which everyone was raving about. My daughter was living in San Francisco. We went to see the Book of Mormon. It was the guys who did South Park.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like,
why is it so long?
Why is it so long?
You could hour and 15, hour 20, you're good to go.
I am.
Yeah, I'm the same way too. A movie, maybe it's a little different, but live theater, I'm kind of like, all right, let's go. I get it. You know? Mr. Mephistopheles, shut up, let's go, type of thing.
And speaking of movies and long, I know you sat down and watched all 4.5 hours of the Oscars on TV last night with Conan O'Brien. as your host. Did you watch any of it? Did you flip through it, see through
Flipped.
it?
I mean, background noise. I went, before I went to bed, I went and read who won, what won, et cetera.
Yeah.
And overall, the word on O'Brien was, did a great job.
He did.
Kept it on Hollywood.
Yep.
Made fun of Hollywood.
Yep.
And kept it moving.
He did fine.
Type of thing. And I love him in general.
Yeah.
So I'm good.
He
No
did
worries.
fine.
Yeah.
He
No
did
one got slapped.
It's just so long. And the movies were, I would say, for the average fan,
Yeah.
not for us.
No. I like the one that won Best Picture, the
Honora?
Now she's a call girl, and there's a Russian oligarch, and there's all this other shit involved with it or whatever, and
There was a call girl, there was a pope, there was a transgender drug lord. Those are 3 of the movies. I forget the other 2 or 3 that were nominated.
a green witch.
Oh, they're the Green Witch. Yeah, right. Wicked. Exactly.
I did not. I didn't see Wicked the movie. I saw Wicked on Broadway.
Yeah.
I did not see any of the movies that were up for Best Picture. That's why when I saw that Armor All or whatever it was called, Honora won, I was like, okay. So I went and kind of a little.
And there's poor Demi Moore in the front row, nominated for an Academy Award. And that woman's a decent actress.
Yeah, she's not bad.
She's a decent actress.
Sure.
She gets I think she gets a lot of shit for G.I. Jane and stuff like that, which was not a bad movie.
No, striptease.
But she's done some decent movies. She finally gets nominated for an Oscar. And who wins? Some 16-year-old kid who goes, I think I'll try out movies, and skips in to her first nomination and win on a movie that someone made with their iPhone. It's like,
I know.
That's got to be rough.
They've really, in my opinion, they've gone, it's either superhero, remake something that's already been done, or just go so far beyond the pale with whatever the theme of your movie is. To me, that's the 3 genres we have right now in Hollywood. And I don't miss any of it.
Julianne Hough, I missed this part, but I was reading about it today. Julianne Hough was one of the people who stood up at the beginning of the Oscars and apologized for every white person everywhere for being on land that was originally owned by, I was going to say indigent, but that's not right.
Indigenous?
Ignorant, no, that's not it. Indignant. It's an indie. People who were there first.
Yeah.
And she pointed out specifically the Tongva tribe. We want to acknowledge the Tongva tribe, the peaceful people who were here first.
Okay.
Oops.
Yep.
Turns out the Tongva tribe
Oh boy.
was one of the tribes that showed up and said, all of you, get the hell out of here. This is our land now. Set it on fire, killed people.
Smallpox. Get out of here.
Did those blankets have smallpox on it?
She got community noted. Someone was like, well,
She got fact checked.
love it. Has she walked it back, or, well, I guess what's done is done.
Yeah. She was also interviewing people on the red carpet. And little Timmy Chalamet, who I thought I was up to here on, and then he did a biopic on Bob Dylan, and I was up to here on. Hey, a complete unknown. The best joke of the night was Timothy Chalamet did such a good job singing, he almost didn't get the role.
And
I will never, ever get the Bob Dylan thing.
you
I'll
and I
never
both.
Get it.
No, you and I both.
Put Bob Dylan on American Idol. Let me see him get past Simon Cowell.
It's being able to sing with your lips closed. That's
How about
Bob
taking the
Dylan.
clothespin off your nose? Whatever. Anyway,
I heard Chalamet wore was like a yellow leather something, or
it was yellow. That's enough.
Okay.
A yellow suit.
Love Curious George. Thank you. Thanks, Tim.
So Timothy Chalamet is coming down the red carpet, and Julianne Hough is doing some of the interviews, and she goes, I love that thing where you sang on Saturday Night Live at the coffee house. Would you do it for us right now in the Bob Dylan voice? Like, dance for me, monkey.
That's exactly.
And Chalamet respectfully said,
Good for him. Okay,
and he went up in my book for saying, I'm not going to dance for you right here, right now.
Yeah.
You know. It's funny though. It seems like these actors who will do a biopic, they'll do it.
Yeah.
And they'll take the awards and they'll take the paycheck, but they don't want to ever repeat it. The guy who did Truman Capote, what was it? Philip
Seymour Hoffman.
Philip Seymour Hoffman, who I love. Love that guy.
Great talent gone too soon.
But you'd never catch him doing his Truman Capote.
When he so when you blew the heads off those people.
You know, the Truman Capote voice was, that's a kind of an embarrassing
Oh my God.
dialect to pull off. He would never do it
As
in
effeminate
public.
as they come.
And then one time on our radio show, we interviewed the guy who played Gandhi, Ben Kingsley.
Oh.
And, you know, Ben Kingsley, we're going to talk to him, and this was right after Gandhi. And so the people on the phone will say, okay, Ben's coming to the phone. Now, do not make him talk like Gandhi. He will not talk. Don't make him talk like Gandhi. It's like, what am I going to do? I say, so, Mr. Kingsley, what are the conditions? I got other questions besides making the monkey dance, you know?
We now, and there's other people who are the polar opposite. Like we had on Will Forte from SNL, and he was promoting the MacGruber movie.
Yeah.
And we said 10 seconds before we came back on the air, Will, can you do the whole interview as MacGruber? He goes, fuck yes, I can.
Of course.
And he did the whole interview.
Right.
You and I have both interviewed Will Ferrell before.
Yeah.
And Will has done complete interviews as Ron Burgundy.
Right.
Especially in San Diego.
Right.
And he'll pull shit out of his head.
He shows up
in
the maroon jacket. He's the puppet.
There's guys and women who really own it, but the Chalamets of the world, they're like, you know what? I was able to do a really good job at that, but I'm not Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Sam,
well, you talk about people who don't want to play. Peter Tork came on our radio show one time. Now, I have to say,
oh my God.
in all fairness, if I had my choice of all four monkeys, I'm sorry, Peter would be my last.
Mickey Dolenz?
Peter Tork.
No, but I'm saying, would Mickey Dolenz be your first choice, or?
Oh, I'd talk to any of the three first.
Except for Peter.
Mickey, Davey, Mike.
Yeah, okay.
You know.
Yeah.
But Peter, and guess what Peter didn't want to talk about?
The only thing we know him for?
Yes. He wouldn't talk about the monkeys. And the same thing happened when I had, see if you can do this one, Ron Palillo. Anybody? Ron Palillo?
Yeah, welcome back, Cotter.
Horseshack. Guess what Ron Palillo, when we got him on the air, didn't want to talk about? Now, you tell me one thing that Horseshack has done that wasn't in Mr. Cotter's classroom. Nothing. That's it. One trick pony. Sometimes
I've expanded to Shakespearean theater. That's why I'm on your show to promote.
Yeah. Tina Louise didn't want to talk about Gilligan's Island, which I really wish I could get in the Wayback Machine and go back and interview Tina Louise again, because Tina Louise was really a very, very good actress.
Very good.
She had done some movies that I was unaware of.
She'd done a Dean Martin, Matt Helm movie, I think.
Yeah, she's done some. She was a quality actress. She really was. But I don't want to talk about Gilligan's Island.
I see that to an extent, because Bob Denver, Gilligan, and then it was like, you're Gilligan, bro.
Yeah,
we can't.
It's stuck.
You're stuck. I can't have Gilligan in a serious movie.
We can't get you out.
Can't get you out. You are typecast.
Natalie, I'm not going to think of her last name. Lovey Howell. Natalie Schaefer. The only reason she auditioned for Lovey Howell was the trip to Hawaii. That's it. She went on the trip to Hawaii just to have a getaway, ends up getting a job, and she's like, well, shit, now I got to go to work every day.
Keeping the lights on in the house.
She's another woman who had a whole body of work before her. She was a little character actress.
Right.
Like that. Another one who hated his job, and you'd never see him in it. You'd never know him anywhere else. Mike Brady.
Oh.
Hated the Brady Bunch.
Oh, my God, because, he was one of those where I should be on stage in New York City. Yes.
Acting! The guy, I'm sure the guy was
he hated
a classically trained Shakespearean actor, but
Yeah.
he would get into fights with Sherwood Schwartz.
All the time.
You know, here's Mike Brady, a classically trained Shakespearean actor, and he's got to deal with the plot where Bobby replaced everyone's shampoo with orange dye. Now, I'm not sure where that is in the Taming of the Shrew, but it rubbed him the wrong. So bad that on the last episode, and they didn't know it was the last episode because they got canceled off season.
Yeah.
Last episode of the Brady Bunch, Mike Brady was like, forget it! Walked off the set, and he wasn't on the last show. Walked off in a huff.
Yeah. And then, but here's the thing. What did he go do after? Nothing.
I don't know. We used to have Florence Henderson on our show all the time, and Florence, I mean, when she had that little flip, damn it.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway,
MILF.
she would tell us, she told us, she goes, like on the very first episode, the pilot episode of the Brady Bunch is where Mike and Carol get married.
Sure.
It's almost like a location show. And, you know, they get married, I do, kiss the bride, da-da-da. And apparently Florence Henderson walked up to Sherwood Schwartz and said, were you going to have a problem here? And Sherwood's like, what? She goes, he doesn't like girls. And Sherwood's like, did he say that to you? She goes, no, I just kissed him. He doesn't like girls.
Cooties. he eventually died of it was AIDS, right?
Yeah.
No, it was, and everybody loves that show. I don't know about you, but I wanted to live in that Brady Bunch house, that set with the stairs and all that stuff. But yeah, there's so many people that you're like, it's all you really have to hang your hat on, but you don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, they really get pigeonholed.
100%.
And some people really embrace it, like you said.
Yeah.
Dawn Wells came into our show.
Smoking hot.
I mean, if ever you wondered, am I going to be a Ginger or am I going to be a Mary Ann?
Yep.
Well, Tina Louise hated Ginger, and Dawn Wells loved Mary Ann.
That's right.
Ding.
Little farm
She
girl.
was a goer. Great guest.
Yeah.
The worst.
Yeah.
So, Oscars, movie stars, that's what they get. You and I are probably not going to get an Oscar.
Damn it.
In our day. But
Damn it.
someone here is going into the Hall of Fame. Yes, sir. Someone at this table is going in
Shauna.
his high school Hall of Fame. It is not our missing friend Shauna. It's Mr. Mike, is it Costa? Well, neither here nor there. Cathedral Catholic High School has a Hall of Fame.
We do.
And they have asked you
Yep.
to be inducted.
Yep.
And it's very important when you're going into the Hall of Fame
Sure.
to have a good picture. And so I'm assuming they used your... That's not it. No, that's not it.
That's actually going to be my bust.
That's not...
It's a little more bronze than the average head.
They're constructing it. Do they use your high school picture?
They use your high school picture, and so and there's not a. It's my high school graduation photo, the one they're using for the ceremony.
Tell me, congratulations.
Thank you.
What an honor.
I'm humbled to be included.
This is great.
With all the people that have been inducted before myself, and then as I tell everybody, they had to have cycled through the alphabet 3 or 4 times.
Are you top left?
Top left.
I can just barely make it out. Is that Doug Flutie down at 4 o'clock? Did he go to high school with you? Or?
No, but funny point, all the way at the bottom on the left-hand side is our current chief of police, Scott Wall.
All right.
Who's class of 91. Scott is also going in on Saturday night with me. But I absolutely would not trade my 4 years in high school for anything on earth. And I have made so many great relationships and have such fond memories of that place. And I cannot give back to that school enough for what it gave me. So to be included in this illustrious class is an incredible honor. And again, I'm deeply humbled to be able to say that I will be a distinguished Don.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big event.
Yeah.
You'll go there, you'll make some remarks.
Pretty much.
If I'm in the audience
Yes.
and I'm watching all of these fantastic, the achievements of this great school,
Right.
am I going to have to listen to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that many speeches?
You're going to hear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You're going to hear exactly 26 minutes worth of speeches because you get 2 minutes.
Okay.
And you are held to the 2. And most people up there will tell you that thank God it's only 2 minutes because we've all been at these types of things where somebody just decides, time for my life story.
Yeah.
Time for me to map out. Okay, day 1 I was born. Day 2 that type of thing. So it's 2 minutes just to give a quick thank you and you're in your own words. But each person who's being inducted, there's a long laundry list of who they are, what they've done, et cetera, et cetera. It's all taken care of beforehand.
Are you in there for your great broadcasting and
You know what?
sports career?
You give enough money and you kiss enough ass.
come on.
Eventually you're gonna.
Come on.
Eventually, I would assume it's because of what I am lucky enough to do with have done with my life.
Is that Amy Schumer down there at 5 o'clock or?
No, that's Amy Philpott.
Oh, it's an Amy.
Yeah, it's an Amy, right? Don Weir, the guy,
Hi, Don.
the guy at the very bottom, black and white photo. He was actually. This is the small world we live in. I worked at the San Diego Zoo through high school, and Don was one of the bus drivers for the bus tours. And he always, when he'd come upon me, I'd be working up, emptying a trash can or doing something like this. I was part of the grounds maintenance crew, and he'd always take one of those little animal biscuits that they always would throw to, the bears and stuff, and go whoo, and hit me in the head every single time.
And that's what he's in for?
He was actually an insanely talented football player and lives over in Hawaii, big time surfer as well. But Don Weir used to peg me with animal.
Well, I hope he does it at the Hall of Fame. It's fun. And the last thing I want to say is, bing, dang, bounce one off the dome.
Gotcha, Costa. Yeah, it's going to be a fun
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Isn't that exciting?
Yeah, very much
Great.
so.
I don't have any of that at my high school.
Really?
No,
You'd be in.
I'm not. They have it.
Bastards.
I went on Wikipedia one time.
Right.
I was looking up my high school.
Sure.
Interesting note, you probably know my high school. My high school was not even complete when I was going there. They hadn't finished it yet, brand new building. And the minute they hammered the last nail in, they said, close it down. Because they had built it by mistake. They thought the population was growing too big. They needed a 4th high school in the district. And then they realized we got one too many. And so they took a vote and they closed down the brand new one for whatever reason, I don't know. Anyway, if you've seen The Breakfast Club.
Get out of here.
Yeah, that's my high school.
Is it really?
Yeah, they filmed it in my high school because they weren't doing anything else with it. And
Awesome.
so I was doing some stuff, and notable Maine North graduates. Where am I? Not on there.
How dare they?
Not on there.
Well, has somebody brought it to their attention?
Including me?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe your podcast mate can. Hey,
Hey, what about me?
what about Dave Rickards?
Nah, I've got a little bit of pride. If they don't know me for who I am, fuck those guys. Dicks.
When I got called and I was told, I was actually here. And my best friend in the world, Joe Filipponi, and Ann Major, who's the head of the Alumni Association. Filipponi, Sicilian. They called and said, hey, you're on conference. You're on a speakerphone. I go, what's going on? And Ann says, well, Joey's here. We're just calling to say congratulations. You have been selected to be enshrined in the Cathedral Catholic Hall of Fame, Distinguished Dons. I'm like, are you, my first, are you fucking kidding me? Type of thing. She goes, yeah. And then my buddy Joey, who I've known, my best friend on earth, goes, I didn't fucking vote for you.
Did you know you're up for consideration?
I had no clue.
Because that's how they do big league sports phone calls. You get a phone call, but now those guys know.
Yeah.
They know they're up for consideration. But
Right.
I've seen the videos of those guys
The knock
waiting
on
for
the
their
door,
phone call and
or the phone call. No clue. And then Joey said, "Yeah, you really put the duh in distinguished." So it always comes with a level of humility.
Why are you called a Don? Are you guys like the?
We were the Dons, D-O-N-S, Spanish land barons.
Oh, I'm thinking of like the Godfather. Hey, I'm making them offer.
That would be
the Don.
Yeah, in our
The
symbol.
Don Corleone.
Our symbol on our football helmet was just like a Tommy gun or something like that. No, it's
Just a fish
Don's.
wrapped
And
wrapped in a bullet.
Luca Brasi.
Yeah.
And the only other Dons that I know of are the University of San Francisco. They are the Dons as well, D-O-N-S.
Right on. That's
Yeah.
cool.
So there we go.
Well, let's keep the awards subject going here.
Love it.
So the Oscars cap what is generally an award show
Yep.
season.
Okay.
The list has come out, and this list almost every year really drives me crazy. It is the 2025 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees list.
Oh boy.
Now, I think the biggest mistake they made at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was calling it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because they weren't committed to it. They let people in who are not rock and roll. Now, I'm not saying they aren't great singers, but they're not rock and roll.
Do you wish they would have called it the Music Hall of Fame?
It would have served, I think, a greater purpose.
The Mahuff?
It doesn't have to be the country music. I don't know. It's tricky. I'm sure they thought about it and decided to go with it. But
Okay.
you see these guys who get in, and it's like, who's that guy? Well, he influenced a lot of people. Big fucking deal. I want to see the guy on the stage
Yep.
at Madison Square Garden
Yep.
with an electric guitar strapped around his back, not acoustic, because that's not rock and roll.
Right.
I want to see the heroin tracks in his arm. I want to see all the ex-girlfriends, everything. I
Yes.
want to see rock and roll.
Yep.
That's what I want to see.
I'm hearing you. You want to see Robert Plant,
So,
pair of jeans that are 8 sizes too small?
damn right.
Okay.
So I'm going to go through the list of nominees. I want you to tell me in or out.
Okay.
And I think they were smart because they're leading us off with what I think is a no doubt. It's Bad Company.
Yes.
You're in.
Great
who-
song.
who
It's
would
in
lead-
the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would leave out Bad Company? Can you, now let me ask you this.
No.
What?
Name a bad company?
No.
song? Okay.
No. Can you vote for a rock and roll band to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that you hate? Can you go, look, I don't like them. I hate them. I don't like a single song they do, but I have to grudgingly admit they're a rock and roll band.
Well,
Like Dylan. I'm sitting here going, Bob Dylan.
I know.
I'd be fine without Bob Dylan.
But-
I really would. And I don't care about his influence, and I don't care if he's friends with the Beatles and all that shit.
sure.
I want to get in this time warp and go back to the 60s and find out, what were you guys all on?
Oh, there's so much shit that.
And I don't want to have to be on something to enjoy it, but
I'm
to
with
this
you.
day,
I'm with you.
I'm not a Bob Dylan guy.
I've never been a Bab. I've never been a Bob Dylan guy. I'm that type. I was never a Beatles guy. I can't stand the Beatles. Abbey Road, fuck off. I don't care. The White Album.
Yeah.
It's white.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't care.
Yeah.
But the impact they had on
Yeah.
you talk about the impact, so that's one of them. They're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right?
I
would
got a
assume?
hunch they were in the
Okay,
first
okay.
year.
First year.
But I mean, you're right. Even if you don't like the Beatles, look at what those guys did in 5 years.
Right.
Basically, they were together
Which people forget.
for 5, maybe 6 years, and that's it.
Done.
All that shit was done in 6 years.
Music, hairstyle, clothing,
But all the records they put out.
all the records, all those number one,
Yeah.
platinums, the whole 9 yards.
So all that, even though you don't like them, you'd go,
Got to.
you got to go. Okay.
Have to. So yeah, long-winded answer to your question, I can.
Okay.
Yes.
The Black Crowes.
Was that Mr. Jones in me? Is that
No.
what? Who are the? I think I just saw the Black.
Hard to
Crowes.
handle.
Yeah.
She talks to angels. I need a remedy for what is ailing me. This is a real rock and roll band. This is a real down-to-earth rock and roll band.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Keith Richards as a crow on your album right there, your symbol. I'm good to go. All right. All right.
Good.
Yeah.
Keep that positive attitude for our next one. Miss Mariah Carey in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Again. what's her Christmas song? Is it All I Want for Christmas Is You?
Yeah.
I literally want to pour acid into my ears every time I hear that. But that is a talent to the nth degree.
Sure.
That's
a great singer right there. One of the all-time greatest singers.
Vocalist.
Yeah.
Whether you hate her music or not, whatever.
But she's so not rock and roll.
No.
She has never sung a song that you would go, you know what, there's just a little bit of rock and roll in that? Not a chance. And that's why I really object to this.
The only thing that's missing is a guitar riff.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you.
The only thing that's missing is rock and roll. That's it. Other than that, you're in. And, that song that you talked about, I was talking to Christy Castillo, who's they say assistant director, but
she's the poo ball.
come on.
Yeah.
She worked in retail.
Yeah.
And that song makes people want to kill themselves
Pretty much.
every year.
Yep.
They hear that All I Want for Christmas
Where's
is
the
You.
nearest rooftop?
And I've never met Miss Carey. I've never interviewed her, but I know in my heart one thing. I am not all she wants for Christmas. If I show up at here I am, and that's all I brought with me.
Let's get busy.
No presents, no rings, no jewelry, no diamond encrusted Mercedes-Benz. I know that's what she wants for Christmas. She wants gold bars hanging off the Christmas tree.
Might be a little materialistic.
I don't buy your message, madam. Chubby Checker.
God,
Come on, baby.
the twist.
Just do the twist.
Yeah, and it was such a horrible toupee he had on in those later years.
Throw the guy a bone. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you're gonna own it and call yourself chubby, then yeah, we'll give it to you. But I can tell you that I do not know another Chubby Checker song other than the twist.
The twist.
I have no idea.
How about Joe Cocker? Yeah.
Joe Stroke. I will say this. Was he Love Lift Us Up Where We Belong? He sang with.
Yeah, it's a duet.
With what's her name? I don't know enough of Joe Cocker's body of work.
Well, she came in through the bathroom window, and You Can Leave Your Hat On is a pretty good song.
Okay.
But I mean, is the guy Hall of Fame such as yourself?
No, because I think you can write the history of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and not have Joe Cocker in it.
People wouldn't be looking for that page?
No, they'd be like, oh, where's the Cocker tribute? No, no, there you go, no. What about you?
Honestly, my introduction to Joe Cocker was watching John do Joe Cocker next to Joe Cocker on Saturday Night Live, and I'm like, what is going on here? I don't even know who that fat guy is.
Okay. So that I would take that as a no, maybe.
I can live without Joe
Okay.
Cocker. How about Joy Division New Order?
There's still a lot of people that will contend that the 70s and 80s might be the greatest decades as far as music that was put out. I'm trying to think of what I know from Joy Division. But because I think they're known for just some songs. I don't know if there's the longevity there, although you can throw the Beatles in my face and go 5 years plus. I would say no Joy, and I'd say we're not getting in some New Order.
Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah.
Cyndi Lauper, 2025 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominee.
Yeah, and this is going to sound a little far-fetched too, but her impact and how she made professional wrestling that much more popular because she was involved in it with Captain Lou Albano type of thing.
Wasn't he the dad in Girls Just Want to Have Fun video?
Nice call. Yeah. Yes. So I think, Cyndi, plus her body of work. Cindy's got some pretty damn good songs.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, and yeah. I'll go with Cyndi.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next band, I can't vote for them because I don't even know how to say their name. It's Mana, M-A-N, Mana. Do, 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 do. There's an accent on the second A.
Manya?
Well, that would be a tilde over the N.
Oh, sorry.
Says my fifth grade Spanish. Mana?
Mana? Mana?
Okay, let's just pass on those guys.
Yeah, not going in.
Let's go to Oasis. How about Oasis? Are they in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Hell No.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah.
This is the one that drives me crazier than all of them. This is crybaby music for chicks.
Yeah, it's all that
I
emo shit.
climb over the mountain, swim.
Yeah, and here's another thing. John Lennon, round glasses, great. Everybody else, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Geddy Lee, Rush, bass player, round glasses. Sorry, John Lennon did it. Nobody else.
I just can't stand their crybaby music. There's nothing rock and roll about that. Cyndi Lauper is 1,000 times more rock and roll than these two.
Well, it's,
Panty waists.
when the shit hits the fan.
These two sit next to each other with no buffer chair at the movies. These two take the center urinal together at the men's room.
And they unscrew the aluminum partition beforehand so they can be that much closer together when they pee. Yeah,
Outcast. How about Outcast? Is Outcast in the Rock and Roll Hall?
I like the song, the one song that I.
The one.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I just answered my question there. I only know one Outcast song. So
So does the rest of the world.
okay, goodbye. Yeah.
They're not in.
Yep, they're out.
All right. How about Fish?
See, Fish is another one of those that has a pretty far-reaching.
I couldn't tell you shit about Fish, so
No.
whatever you want.
Fish is also a poor man's
Grateful Dead.
Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
And I can't stand the Grateful Dead.
Me
so.
either. Nor can I. However, it's another one of those things I have to look at and go, look, man, I know
Right.
that when everyone was tripping on acid in 1968 in San
Yep.
Francisco and, rushing over to see Jefferson Airplane and the Grateful Dead, it was a big deal. So it's like, okay, great. I don't know. I was 6. Take it. Whatever. Who cares?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Fish.
Next up, I think this one will be a little bit easier for you. Soundgarden.
Yeah.
Put them in.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Check the box.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a rock band.
Longevity. That's a rock band. Those are, and you know what? I just 4 guys living their best life, putting out good stuff. That's a great rock band. Love touring. Everyone says there's not everybody, but a lot of people say puts on a great show.
That's a rock band.
Yeah.
Right there.
Hell
Or they
yeah.
were anyway. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're still together anymore since
Right.
Mr. Cornell has gone on to his great reward.
Mm-hmm.
He also did what I believe to be the best James Bond theme song of all time. You Know My Name, from from Casino Royale.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
So
Yeah. Absolutely.
good
And
stuff. A rock and roll James Bond song.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. That and Live and Let Die.
Oh, by the Beatles for sure.
Oh, Paul.
No, Paul McCartney.
Yeah. Last one I got for you is the White Stripes. Can you do the White Stripes?
1,000%.
Yeah.
It's like
We'd like him to get a new hairdo. I mean, we really would. The truth is.
it's like Conway Twitty had sex with a barnyard animal, and we got the White Stripes. I don't.
That's a band, though. That's a rock band. They are.
Okay.
It's funny if you didn't know them, and you put that picture up there.
That's a brother and sister growing up in the Bible Belt, and we're just trying to make good music and serve the Lord. I can't name a White Stripe song. Is that bad?
It's not bad. It's a matter of saying, hey, I know enough about music to say I'm going to put these guys in.
Yep. No, sorry, White Stripes. Yeah. Striped off the list.
Jared Coleman is our executive producer, and Christy Castillo is his assistant, and they are here running the Dave Rickards podcast here today at loft100studios.com, which is where we come from every Monday here.
Yep.
And we're grateful to Mr. Sully for having us in.
Always.
And you're his co-host on the Big Biz Show.
The Big Biz Show, Tuesdays and Thursdays. We film it here in studio, and then you and I have an appearance coming up on a local San Diego show, KOSI and Fox 5's.
On the air.
On the air.
That's right.
Type of thing.
That's
is
right, which
awesome.
comes from right over your left shoulder there.
Emanating right there.
It's a great studio. It really is. Loft100studios.com, which is where we broadcast. Jason Banks is on the floor here. And Miles and Curtis, the whole crew is here helping us
The
out
best
here
in the
today.
business. The best in the business.
And I'll bet every one of those guys, with the exception of Ms. Castillo, falls into the category of my next subject for you. And a poll was taken. And of that poll, just about 50% admit or acknowledge that they carry with them, and by that I mean like briefcase, man purse, whatever it is you carry around. I noticed you a couple weeks ago.
Satchel.
It's European. Trunk of your car, whatever. Backup underwear. 50% of them, and you're not.
No, I don't.
50% of Americans carry backup underwear. I have been toting backup pants in the back of my car for, 2 decades. A lesson hard learned, I will say.
Oh,
Yeah.
you reached for them and they weren't there.
Well,
Never
when you
again.
need them most.
Yes.
Once you need this,
Right.
you will take out that insurance policy of going to your closet and saying, what can I live without here? Just throw it in the car. That's going to be there.
Okay.
And I hope I never, it really is just like insurance. I
Yeah.
hope I never need it, but it's there if I've got it.
Is it, we have to assume it's because a lot of people are shitting themselves and they need backup underwear, or do they just come out of the house, shit, I forgot to put on underwear?
This is where it gets very interesting.
Yeah.
50% of people, as you see,
Right.
are willing to admit, yes, I carry backup underwear, backup pants. They'll say that. Then they'll say why. Well, sometimes I don't like the way it looks. Shut up, you just sharted. That's why. And you don't want to admit it.
You don't have control of your bowels.
Like you can't get through the day with, who are you, Timothy Chalamet? I wore my yellow suit today. Give me a break.
I hope that was a fart.
There is only one reason
Right.
to carry backup underwear and pants. We all know what it is.
Pretty much.
Don't need to ask that question.
Okay, so does your wife wear, this is a very personal question, does she wear underwear all the time or does she ever go commando?
Depends on her mood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because most of the women in my life, and I'm talking wives, sisters-in-law, they are full on, get up, get out of the shower, dry off, put your jeans on.
Yeah.
Commando.
Yeah.
No.
You can't do that.
No.
Can't do that.
It's
too upsetting to you.
Yeah.
What's so upsetting about it?
For me,
Yeah.
there's some chafing that can go on.
Uh-huh.
My boys need a house,
Uh-huh.
as Kramer would say on Seinfeld. I've never loved the commando.
Yeah.
No, always underwear. And I used to wear tighty whities,
Yeah.
but now I boxer briefs.
Yeah.
Kind of tight, snug, fitting.
Yeah. Unless
Again?
you're Mark Wahlberg, it's hard to pull off the tighty whitey look.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
No, I look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow.
You look
Man.
like a fourth grader. I mean, come on, tighty whities. What a dork.
What, does your mom sew your name in the back of those?
Such a dork look.
It's such a dork look. And I hated boxers, like the old school dad's boxers, because everything would just come spilling out.
Well, it's just such a wadded up mess.
That's it. That's what it is. So I've never carried, you know what I did in high school? There's 2 things I had in the back of my car. I had a backup hoodie in case we were going somewhere at night and it was cold and I, idiot like me, forgot a jacket.
Yeah.
And I always had a blanket. Just in case.
A whoopee to snuggle up
no,
with?
not a
or-
whoopee.
Oh,
Not a whoopee.
just in case a young lady was
The mood hits you.
something else. I don't know.
That's right. And we would always buy one crossing the border from TJ. I think they were at the time $15, $20.
Nice blankets.
Nice, thick.
Woven with real Mexican hay inside. Those are sweet.
Ticks and fleas embedded in them. That's the only 2 things I had in my car was a backup hoodie and a blanket.
Yeah.
Now, nothing. Just the jack.
I would have bet $100 that you were a backup
Underwear guy?
underwear guy in the truck. Yeah.
No, never. I don't have a lot of control in my life. I do have control in my bowels at the moment.
Good for you.
So I don't have to worry about it.
No surprises.
No, there are some moments where you pull in the parking lot and you're like,
Yeah.
whew, made it.
This is my idea for the best television show ever that would just it would storm the ratings. And unfortunately, it's impossible to shoot because you'd never be able to have the camera in the right place. But I would just have cameras on the faces of people 5 seconds before they shark and 5 seconds after. having such a great time. That's right, Bob. The other day when we were out there at the Wrigley Field, and then. That would be my show.
You start sweating.
Yeah. I got to get out of here. I got to go straight home. And I got cloth seats in my car.
The times you want that rich Corinthian leather, and I have cloth.
Why didn't I listen to Ricardo Montalban?
Damn it! This car's totaled.
Are you a 23andMe guy? Did you ever do your life tree genetic history kind of thing? Do you care?
No, I am convinced I probably hail from Satan. So I kind
All
of
hail.
all hail. Yeah, I walk into church on Sundays and the holy water boils. So I kind of know where I came from.
Yeah.
I was never, no, not really. What I want to do though is swab the inside of my mouth, but send it in to one of those dog DNA things and see what comes back. But I never did the 23andMe. Did you?
That would be a great that would be a great gimmick.
Yeah.
Someone must have done that.
They have to, right?
I'm sure they write back, ha ha.
Exactly.
Real original.
Yeah.
I did do that with my dogs. I did do the DNA test with my dogs, and I'm like, this isn't even close to being right.
Let me guess. Chihuahua, Belgian Malinois. I mean, those are like the two that pop up in every single frickin' dog.
Well, the ones that always show up in my dog are pit bull. So it's like those.
And that's another one.
Those pit bulls get around, boy. They're like the dog mafia. They got a little taste everywhere,
They got an ache.
They're in there somewhere.
No.
Well, I have not done the 23andMe, but I was reading the story about this young lady. She was, for whatever reason, she had her own ideas. She had her doubts about her genetic line.
Okay.
Yeah. So she did the 23andMe, and she was right to do it because she found out that her father is not her father.
Oof.
And this was troubling for everybody in the family. She did not uncover some family secret. What had happened was mother had gone through in vitro fertilization in order to conceive. They wanted to do this. And in their family's history, that what they thought, Dad provided his part, mother did theirs, the doctor puts him in the mix master, and here's the young lady.
Get the old turkey baster.
Turns out the doctor provided his own.
Oh, Christ.
And did it not only with them, but had done it dozens and dozens and dozens of times. These people, I think Elon Musk might be a little bit like this. They have a complex where they want to sow their DNA throughout the world. Yeah. And I think Elon Musk is open about that. He wants to have as many kids as possible.
I think Mengele also wanted to in World War II, but go on.
Anyway, this doctor did not have permission to do this, and so he was doing it under the radar. So they uncovered this whole thing, and this girl is now out in her town talking to these people, and guess who she found out was her brother? Oh yeah. Her boyfriend is her brother.
Oh my God. So you, without having a three-eyed kid, can you marry and procreate with like second cousin on or third cousin on?
You mean biologically? Safely?
Yeah, safely.
I don't know that thing. I've never understood that. Like the royal family always gets the rub for being
a bunch of hemophiliacs.
I don't know how it works. I honestly,
okay.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it.
I think first generation you're going to come out with just a weird, screwed up kid.
Well, with this girl, it was just, she's in love with her boyfriend, madly in love with her boyfriend, then finds out it's her brother, and I guess that will ick you out. I don't know why.
But see, I would want to know, what are you, like, did you, in your relationship, you first starting out where you are and you're here now in your relationship with each other, are those moments where you go, God, we're just so similar, or, are you sure we didn't know each other before, or, oh my God, you too, that type of thing, and then you're like, well, that's why, because we're brother and sister. So from the same, or same father.
Same father.
Different moms.
Different mom, yeah, exactly. which makes you half brother, I guess.
Half brother.
Yeah. I think guys are willing to overlook it and say, hey, she's a good bang, but the women, they're a little deeper about these things.
Very, and I could see where that would become a hang-up if you're, morning, honey. My God, you're my freaking half brother.
Yeah,
type
what do
of
you think
thing.
about that?
I don't think it matters like in West Virginia or some third world countries.
Right?
But yeah, I can see where people get that. That's so. I hope that they threw the freaking book at that doctor. Oh, that's so fucked up.
It ruins a good relationship, that's for
It
sure.
sure does.
Back to that underwear thing. My friend Josh Board, who is a regular watcher of the show, and Josh and I have done a lot of podcast work together.
Hello, Josh.
He had written in, and he said he got in trouble he was getting undressed one night, done for the day, got undressed. The next day, put on the same socks that he had been wearing that night when he got undressed. And his wife took a look at that and said, what are you doing? Stand by now. Let's hear him out.
All right.
The previous night, he was going out to some sort of event, got showered, changed at 6 o'clock at night, put on his clothing, put on his socks, goes out, home by 8, done. He's like, I only put 2 hours on these socks. I'm getting some more use out of them the next day. I'm okay with that.
I would vote for him if he ran for president. That's how okay I am.
It's common sense.
It is such common sense.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, if I'm going out, let's say 6 o'clock, getting ready, we've got a 7:30, 8 o'clock dinner reservation, and we're out till 10:30 or 11.
Yeah.
I'm putting that underwear on. If I'm not sleeping in it,
Yeah.
I will wear it the next day.
Yeah.
It hasn't been in the yard doing yard work. It hasn't been at the gym.
Yeah.
It was just me sitting in a steakhouse, maybe farting once in a while, but still relatively clean. I'm wearing those
Relatively clean.
the next day.
I could take it this far. If it's that kind of a thing, if it's 6 o'clock, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That whole outfit's getting used again tomorrow.
Without a doubt.
It was a pretty good look. I'm recycling that whole thing tomorrow.
There's no Bernays.
It's picked out.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you didn't drop a whole cherry pie down the front there.
And sometimes that's the breaks. The socks things, and now I will reveal, I don't like spending money on stuff like water and electricity and things like that. I'm a very staunch, turn the fucking light off when you're done, turn the TV, that type of thing. And if I can save on our laundry bill as far as water is concerned,
Yeah.
I don't mind wearing a pair of socks.
Campaign as a conservationist. I'm saving water.
Trying to.
Yeah.
I don't mind wearing a pair of socks.
Yeah.
A couple days in a row, and I will have a pair that I go to the gym in, and I will stuff those into my gym shoes.
Yeah.
And I have my just kicking around on the Dave Rickards podcast socks, which I have on right now.
Yeah. You have Dave Rickards podcast socks?
Well, I do now. These actually came from Costco Saturday morning, brand new, and I wore them Saturday. I wore them yesterday, and I'm wearing them today.
Now, how do you feel about this? You've done a couple hours. You put on a pair of socks. You put in 2 hours. You got to get showered and changed.
Yeah.
Are you putting those same socks back on?
I'll do a sniff test.
How do you feel about damp socks going back on?
I won't. No, if I've had a preponderance of foot sweat, like I know that I was walking some distances and
Yeah.
stuff, or I was moving and shaking, I will go grab a fresh pair of socks.
So here's where it probably goes too far. But in that same situation, I'm just talking about like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay? Now I got to go shower and change, da-da-da-da. The socks come off. They come off inside out. Okay? Now they're inside out because that's how socks come off. You pull them off, they peel off, they're inside out.
Yeah.
They go outside to the patio, outside the bedroom, and they're laid out on the chair in the sun to dry off, and they're warm so that when I get out of the shower, they're dry and warm. And they go back on for the rest of the day.
I like that.
Why? I don't know. I am considered by some to be relatively successful in this town,
Very much so.
and I can afford one extra load of laundry.
You know what?
I don't know what it is about me that wants to conserve like this, but I do.
It might be a guy thing type of deal.
Yeah.
Because Meg is just, Jesus, would you just put him in the laundry hamper? We can afford an extra rinse cycle.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
soap? Like, type
It
of
all
thing.
adds up.
It adds up,
Polar bears are
sweetie.
drowning in the
Jesus Christmas. I like that idea. You put them out in the sun and they're warm.
They're
ready to
dry
go.
in 10 minutes and they're warm.
See, the child who lives in my house is one who, he wants a warm shirt
Yeah.
put on
Yeah.
immediately out of the shower.
Yeah.
So he will take the shirt that he knows he's going to wear, and I'll catch the little bastard throwing it into the dryer.
Sure.
Like 10 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I had to put the kibosh on that too. Do you know how much it costs just to fire that thing up for that 10 minutes, you little jackass?
We had to reopen San Onofre just to warm up your
Please
blouse.
show me where your money tree is growing in the
That's right.
backyard because I will show you where mine is.
When you're under my roof, son.
Yeah.
What do you make of this, in my opinion, pissing match between Canadian and American sports fans who are now booing each other's national anthem? I got to tell you, I just stop doing this. This is bad form. Even in sports where bad form is encouraged, booing and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Not anthems.
First of all, does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. Secondly, is it a good look? No, it's a horrible look. For us to be booing Canada's anthem. Why? Because our presidents got into a pissing match with each other about tariffs?
Yeah.
You don't even know what the tariffs are on and you want to boo each other? I mean, it's such a bad look. I don't like this at all. I don't like, it's the top of the food chain of bad sportsmanship, which no one can defend.
No. And I think the Canadian national anthem is one of the best. Ours.
There's 4 great anthems.
Yep.
There's Britain.
Yep.
There's France.
Yeah.
Have you ever read the lyrics of France's anthem? You know, you read France's anthem.
It's all
Everyone
surrender,
knows,
right?
Huh?
Surrender, surrender, surrender.
Oh no,
Just kidding.
no. I mean, France. You know, the French, La Marseillaise. Dun, 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 dun. It's a great anthem.
Great
But the
anthem.
words are, "We are going to water our crops with the blood of our enemies." It is bloodthirsty. It's
Good
brutal.
for them. No, it is a great.
England, France, Canada, and the United States have the 4 anthems that are the best.
Yeah.
The best. So let's not. But I mean, it's poor sportsmanship.
It is. And here's.
Let the anthem play, applaud, then
as soon as they skate out, boo.
turn into a dickhead.
Yes, of course.
Respect the anthem.
And you know what Trudeau and Trump are going through, or what now Trump and the rest of the civilized world are going through. Here is the thing, and there is some great banter going back and forth between Canadians and Americans, and it's, you know, hey, America's hat, America Junior, the land of syrup and poutine. What else? You know, you guys have Celine Dion next. You know,
Bryan Adams.
type of thing. Lover boy. But Canada would have our back so fucking fast if the shit ever hit the fan, and likewise, we would have Canada's back so fast if it really got down to, hey, we're at DEFCON 1, Canada's getting fucked up, we're coming in, type of thing. And people have to realize that. And the booing of the national anthems, I get it. It made that hockey series, the Four Nations Cup, whatever they called it.
Yeah.
Super, super interesting.
It did.
And riveting. But
got hot.
It got hot, but at the end of the day, they're the people across the fence.
I'll tell you what, if they keep booing the national anthem of the United States, I think we should play all 4 verses. Do you know there's 4 verses of that song?
Of ours?
Ours. The land of the free and the home of the brave is not the end. Look at that. There's 4 verses of that song. On the shore, dimly seen, through the mist of the day.
Holy crap!
It goes on and on. It's like, what are we, Angola?
Francis!
So, yeah, keep it up, Canada, and we're going to play all 4 verses. Yeah, that thing never shuts up.
Oh my God!
I don't know what kind of Adderall Francis Scott Key was on, but it's like, put the quill down.
Dude.
We're running out of ink.
Oh, why couldn't the bomb hit him right after the home of the brave? Good Lord. I think I knew that, but I never really paid attention to Francis was just so in depth with it. Good Lord.
Did you know, you remember the Delta plane that landed upside down and everyone was okay?
In Canada.
Yeah, in Canada, exactly.
Shocker.
Do you know they're offering everybody on that plane $30,000?
Righteous bucks.
$30,000, no strings attached.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you take it?
That's a great question. In
No strings attached, meaning
yeah.
go ahead and sue us if you want. This does not preclude you from taking any,
Yeah.
you're not going to sign any waiver. We just want to say, sorry, we landed upside down where we don't have wheels.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's 30 grand.
Listen, considering what some airlines do when these things happen and they don't do it,
Yeah.
Delta has done, take the money. And the thing is, Delta, you're going to show up with your attorney who costs $500 an hour. Delta's going to show up with their team of attorneys and they cost $5,000 an hour. So you suing them or trying to, get blood out of the turnip, especially since nobody died. Now, if you broke your neck and you severed a vertebrae or something and you really are going to be disabled going forward, not a paraplegic, but because of the way the crash happened, you're going to be screwed up the rest of your life. You probably have a really good case, and it's
Yeah.
probably one of those things they're going to settle with you. We know we gave you 30, but here's another $500,000. We're sorry.
Yeah.
We'll cover your medical for the rest of your life. Blah 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 blah.
What do you want from Delta? If you land on that plane upside down and you get out unscathed and you got a story to tell, but I mean literally no injuries, what do you want from Delta?
I think 30s.
Would you be done?
I would be done.
Yeah.
Because, there's going to be the people that, oh, I can't get on an airplane anymore. Oh, my God, the PTSD from it, blah, 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 blah. And you might. And it's probably valid. And those are the people who are, someone's going to, hey, you could be getting a lot of money out of Delta. I can take
Right.
your case and we're going to, that type of thing. I think most people are going to be 30's good. Thank you. Just try not to do it again to anybody else. That's what you get when you hire an all-female flight crew. No. Is that true, by the way? Was it an all-female crew?
I believe not.
Okay.
I believe
Then I retract this.
I believe the captain was a gentleman and the first officer was a lady. I think.
There you go.
I think that's correct.
Thank God Sean is not here.
But
She'd be trying to defend her.
But anytime they are reluctant to tell you who the pilots were, I'm always like, how come?
Thank you.
This F-14 or 18, I think it's an F-18 that crashed in San Diego Bay last month.
Yeah.
They won't tell us who the pilots are.
And I think with the co-pilot of the Delta crash, she didn't have that many hours. Maybe that was the story, if I read it correctly. I still don't know the story of the one that crashed in San Diego
Well,
Bay.
what they'll say about her, which I think is just like, if that's all they can say, they talk about the captain, and they said that, he came over when Delta bought this plane and turned it into Endeavor and da-da-da-da-da, and he is a storied commander with a long time, blah, 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 blah. The first officer has the minimum requirements. That's all they'll say. Has the minimum requirements. You know what that is? That's my diploma on the wall from Western Illinois University. C-, 120 hours credit. There's your degree, son.
She can spell airplane. But isn't ultimately it's on the pilot? Because
I don't know how it works. I don't know if the captain is like, you assume the captain is in charge, first officer is sitting next to Sully.
Yeah.
And it
Right.
it appears as though everything was going fine right until they got close to the ground. I don't think they were in any kind of an emergency landing situation.
Yeah.
So it's possible the captain said, why don't you land it? Learning situation, that kind of thing. I don't know.
It's the best way to learn. Yeah.
And did she accidentally hit the switch that says, flip the plane right now? Did she do the Denzel thing? Did you ever see that one? The pilot, Denzel Washington, flying the plane upside down?
No.
That's a wild story. Denzel, the alcoholic pilot,
Yeah.
who loses control of his plane and has to fly it upside down. Oh, crazy stuff. Speaking of great flights coming up, you're going to see the all-female flight of the century. I know you're excited about this. Katy Perry,
Oh my God.
Gayle King, and
Lauren Sanchez.
Lauren Sanchez, of course, has to be on there because her husband owns the rocket.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's going to be an all-female
She's got the boosters.
flight crew
Yeah.
going up.
What, they're okay. So they are manning the rocket.
They are not. There will be, I believe there are women flying the rocket.
Oh boy.
It's all female.
Oh my God.
And I forget who the fourth one is. It's Katy Perry, Gayle King, Lauren Sanchez.
Whoopi Goldberg.
I forget who it is. But it was one of those. It was one of those stories where it says, "I think I'd better go right to the comments section." And these people are brutal.
Oh yeah, they are.
Lost in space,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Send them to the sun. I don't know how they chose the 4 women in particular that no one wants a return flight for. No one wants this rocket to come home. What did
Jettison-
Katy Perry do?
Jettison cocoon. I don't know. Well, wait, didn't she sing wasn't there a rocket song she sang or something like that?
Well, she sings fireworks.
Thank you. Close enough.
I mean, they're innocuous
I-
songs.
But so you have 3 women who are going up in a spaceship
Yeah.
that is going to be commanded by an all-female flight.
I'm pretty sure that's
crew.
true. Yeah.
Okay. Well, great. I'm sure Jeff Bezos loves his wife, the flavor of the month right now. So he probably isn't going to have anybody who fills that minimum requirement part of their career. I'm sure that the female crew, who are actually going to be going up and coming back down, are probably some of the most brilliant pilots or space individuals we've ever not heard of.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a little the cast of characters. The cargo makes you kind of go, "What? Gayle King?"
Gayle King was getting a lot of crap for it because as a journalist,
Oh, they're still around?
I object to that. Calling Gayle King a journalist
Yeah, yeah. Opinion person.
is not supposed to be taking freebies,
Oh.
not supposed to be taking gifts. And Gayle King, according to Gayle King,
Yeah.
has led a stainless career of not accepting gifts. Well, this is a $250,000, $500,000
Gift, right.
a joyride to go up and come down.
I'm covering the story.
Naturally.
Good, if you were given the opportunity, would you go, whether Elon or Bezos?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to, right?
I would.
For sure.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Can I show you what I think is the worst headline of the week?
Okay.
The absolute worst headline. I wouldn't want it for my wedding. I wouldn't want to be at this wedding. Christy, if you would put that picture of the worst headline that we've seen all this week up on the screen for us here. Can someone tell me what acid diarrhea is? And now are you carrying spare pants in your car? 300 guests crying with acid diarrhea.
Oh, it was in Mexico.
How did that happen? Who could possibly have foreseen that going on a destination trip to Mexico would wind up with 300 guests weeping with acid diarrhea?
What is acid diarrhea? Now, normal Montezuma's revenge. Yeah, we were all told, don't drink the water
Yeah.
when you go to Mexico. But acid diarrhea.
Acid diarrhea.
Symptoms included explosive diarrhea and vomiting, fever, chills, and debilitating fatigue.
I just want to stay home. I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to stay home. People always say, do you want to go on a cruise? I love a cruise. All the food, all the ports of call. And it's like every time I pick up the newspaper, I see this kind of stuff. Norwegian cruise, everyone barfing their guts out, can't get off the boat. I mean, there was a spate of cruise ships I remember about 2 or 3 years ago, And here we are, San Diego, very popular port of call.
Yes.
Every boat that went out
Yeah.
was coming back with a stomach flu.
Yeah. Well, what was the
The norovirus or some hideous thing.
or that Italian one where the crew was like deuces? They're jumping off the ship.
That's pretty bad. What is going on these cruise ships? There was one a couple of years ago. Do you remember this? It was someplace in Europe. The captain was like, watch this. And he grabs the wheel, and he's trying to do like wheelies up close to the shore and runs it aground.
Yes.
And he sank the ship.
The ship.
He literally sank a cruise ship by hot dogging for the crew. God.
Oh my God. Hey, Jason Statham. Maybe not on the boat.
Literally hot dogging, and he sunk the ship.
Yeah. I will say I've been lucky enough to be on a number of cruises, and all of them were fantastic.
Yeah.
Food was great. Ports of call were awesome. You know, the days you're at sea on the ship, and you know, there's tons. We had Toph as a little kid on 2 of them, and you know, you just go. What are you gonna do? Just hey, don't jump off the boat. Beat it. You know,
Yeah.
Here's your whatever card.
Yeah.
Good times. Never have run into the acid diarrhea ship.
I have avoided cruise ships because for so many reasons. And I know that people who love cruises love them. And I'm not trying to talk you out of it.
No.
You know, enjoy yourself. Have your good time. I've been seasick. I don't like it. You know, my dad had a boat when I was a kid growing up, so I sail. I know what it's like and all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
cruise ships they hold no interest for me. And I don't like being seasick, and I really would almost rather die than be around a lot of vomiting people. So many, many, many years ago, in the early stages of my career, the sales department came to me and said, hey, Dave, we need you to host a day cruise from San Diego down to, I don't know where.
Ensenada.
Yeah, Ensenada, and then come back. And I was like, you know, I don't like cruise ships. I get seasick. And they're like, you don't understand. These cruise ships are big. They got baffles. You never feel the ocean, blah, blah, blah. The whole thing, which I've heard a million times.
Bullshit.
And, you know, why do they want me on this boat? I'm no attraction. They're going to get on the boat. They're having fun with their family.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Lido deck. We're going to have a trivia contest coming up here for some wonderful prizes.
But the bottom line is they need this to sell the package.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And part of my job is to make money for my company. So I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So I show up with like 500 people going on this cruise, and I got a couple of family members, and I'm taking Dramamine. And it was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm taking Dramamine. We don't need that. This thing barely gets off the coast. We go out 2 miles, boo, the whole thing. On the way back, do you remember Tom Hanks in Big shooting silly string out of his mouth? 500 people on that boat. Blah, blah. The gullies awash in vomit. I'm like, why am I here?
Was it food or seasickness or a combination of
Seasickness.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, oh, we got these planes, these
No.
wings. You never feel it.
I will.
It was a 3-hour tour.
It was.
It was Gilligan.
Every time I've gone on a cruise, that first day, I will chalk up to it's going to be a wash because I'm going to get a degree of queasiness while you get your sea legs under you. You cannot do that in 6 to 8 hours on even a large ship.
Well,
Can't
these
do
people
it.
all went down to Ensenada, and they loaded up on lobsters and nachos and cheese and tequila and you know what we're talking about.
Who songs Cantina?
They're coming out like this.
Viva Mexico!
Mr. Creosote getting back on the boat. You know, so full. What can we bring you? A bucket, I'm going to vomit. Everybody is stuffed to the gills, and then we hit a couple of waves, and it all came out. And I'm sitting there going, you son of a bitch, why did I do this?
I remember KGB.
I mean, you hate yourself when you know you're right, and you go against your principles, your
Why
morals.
didn't I trust my
Me.
gut?
Me.
Yeah.
Why didn't I trust me?
Yeah. No, I will often, and I still do, have that moment where I look up in the sky and go, you warned yourself.
Yeah.
You freaking
You
warned
knew better.
yourself.
You knew better.
You knew better.
I never know better, but I knew better.
Tell me there was an appearance fee.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I didn't want it. I don't get me off this boat.
$200 is $200, Dave.
Yeah. You know, there's a point where you're afraid you're actually going to make it home. I'd rather just have the burial at sea right here. Let us just go down. God, so bad.
That is awesome. The Dramamine didn't knock you out?
Nah.
It is a horse tranquilizer.
Oh, yeah.
For me. I'm done
Yeah.
if I take Dramamine.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I survived.
that's
it.
awesome.
Well, listen, I'm going to leave you with what I thought was the fun video of the week, and I hope you enjoy this. And I hope we have our beloved Shauna back soon.
Me too. Very much so.
Very much so.
Love her.
But I'm going to leave you with this video. It's a bit that people have been doing to trick their spouse. And what they do is they set up a camera in their bathroom, and they have a Q-tip. And they've set up the camera, and they've dipped, unbeknownst to their spouse, they've dipped the Q-tip in peanut butter. The spouse walks in and they go, "What is that?" And you can imagine what they do next.
God bless him.
So thank you so much for watching the Dave Rickards podcast here from Loft100Studios.com, and we leave you with this video.
What are you doing? I'm doing things that I don't. You need to get a Q-tip. Oh.
When's the last time you cleaned your ears?
A long time ago.
12 years ago? 13? That's gross. What? Come on! What are you doing? That's disgusting. Brianna!
Ew.
Oh my God!
My ear.
That was not in your ear.
It's not my ear.
When's the last time you did this? Oh my God! Stop! Stop!
She goes to DC. Getting her message. Oh. No one needs to see the wrong
What now? You're eating it. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? It's disgusting.
I'm serious.
You've been listening to the Dave Rickards podcast. Stay tuned for more episodes to come.